Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me in this short meditation this morning. And I am reading from Psalm chapter 13. Now, this psalm is written by David, one of the finest kings of Israel. And according to Bible scholars, this psalm is a psalm of lament. Ibig sabihin, the person who wrote this was crying out to God, and for all his cries, there was no answer from God. Natapos yung sum niya, tas walang resolution. Let me read to you, and I'll have a few exhortation, and then we will pray this morning. Psalm 13, verses 1 to 6. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Light up my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemies say, I have prevailed over him. Lest my foes rejoice because I am shaken. But I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. This psalm is a psalm of lament and written by David. And one interesting thing about that is that kung sino si David. David was Israel's king. He was rich, he was powerful, he had prestige, he was good looking, he had everything that you or I could ever want in life. And yet, the Bible tells us by the sheer number of psalms na sinulat ni David, you could see that sobrang daming sinulat si David na psalms of lament. You know what that means? It means that it doesn't matter if you're successful, you have money, or you have a good career, or you came from a good family, a royal family, you have everything that you could ever want, you have lahat na lang ng gusto mo meron. Like David, yung mga tao na ganun, tinatamaan din pala ng suffering, frustration, disappointment. And so in this psalm, what you can see is that David was crying out to God. He said, Lord, how long will you forget me forever? He was at the point of accusing God. Sabi niya, Lord, kinalimutan mo ako eh. How long will you hide your face from me? Lord, I have been calling on you. I have been praying. You've forgotten me. You're hiding from me. Lord, hindi mo sinasagot yung prayer ko. How long must I take counsel in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all day? Sabi niya, Lord, wala na akong kausap. Ako lang ito mag-isa. I'm talking to myself. I am praying. And there was no answer. Can you just feel the frustration that David was feeling at this moment? Sabi niya, how long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Akala nila talo na ako. Akala nila successful na sila. Akala nila wala akong Diyos. Sabi niya, Lord, consider and answer me. O Lord, my God. Sabi niya, light up my eyes lest I sleep the sleep of death. Sabi niya, Lord, sagutin mo naman ako, Lord. Baka ikamatay ko tong problema na to. I have been alone. I have been praying and there is no answer. Lord, would you answer me? That's exactly what many of us feel today. That we have been praying, we have been asking God, Lord, intervene. Lord, I pray for breakthrough. But the Lord is not answering yet. And that's frustrating. That hurts. That for many people, nakakapanghina siya ng faith. Lord, akala ko ba powerful? Akala ko ba you care about me? I thought that you love me, but then there are times that you don't answer my prayers. And then in verse 5, David said, but I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. Tanong ko dito, pag tininan mo, nag-pray si David, hindi siya sinagot. And then verse 5, biglang cambio niya, sabi niya, but Lord, I trust in your unfailing love. You know what that means? That in times when you don't see the hand of God and you don't feel the presence of God and you don't get the answers from God, David was saying that you can trust the steadfast love of the Lord. David is saying that in times when the Lord doesn't answer, you don't jump ship, you don't abandon the faith. Why? You look back to the historical faithfulness of God. You look back in the past and realize that for many times in the past, God has been faithful. If He was faithful, then He is faithful now. You look to the character of God over a long period of time. You see that God has been faithful to His people in the past. In the time of Israel, in biblical times, in the time of the early church, in the time of church history, God is good, God is faithful. He knows what He is doing. If your prayers today are not answered, if today you're calling on God, tapos feeling mo you are abandoned by God, then you can confidently say, Lord, if you were faithful in the past, I know that you are faithful now. I will put my trust in your steadfast love. You can be trusted. And that's why, ang conclusion ni David sa verse 6, I will sing to the Lord because He has dealt bountifully with me. I will put my trust in God. I will sing to the Lord even in the midst of terrible circumstances. Why? Because I know that historically God is faithful. He can be trusted. His faithfulness endures forever. How long, O Lord? Wala tayong sagot dyan. Hanggang kailan? Sometimes it feels like the Lord is not answering. But know this, you can trust in His historical faithfulness. Look back and you know that our God is still good all the time. Let us pray. Lord, help us to trust You in times of difficulties, in times when we are frustrated and disappointed. Lord, help us to trust You, that we will trust Your unfailing love, even when sometimes we think that You're not answering our prayers. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.